It's the NFL on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Texans and the Rams, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Houston Texans and the Los Angeles Rams. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. They're going to look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Russell. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now back to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Here comes the Rams punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is going to be incomplete. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. And his kick here is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now they'll run on the draw. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. It's complete. He finds Falk here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's McKinney. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 33.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Third down, he'll drop to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the Rams are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Here we go. Get off the field. 53's the mark. 53. Check.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
He was taken down at the 22-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Now they try the right side here. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And to give this time to the tailback. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 44. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Now a handoff looking right. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, obviously, that is declined, and the result is a safety.
And what a momentum play that is, right? You never want to see a safety wiped out. You get the points, and you're going to get the ball back.
And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Now they try the right side here. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Quick hitter here. It's complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
It's 3rd and 7.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up the 4th down. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the 2nd quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
They've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. They'll look to throw here. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Boyd. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 45-yard line.
And the Texans first down.
Looking to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is caught inside the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. The defense, they weren't fooled on that post route. They just couldn't make the play.
And the offense definitely tried to fool them because you saw the other route combinations, didn't you? Anything that they were running trying to draw attention away from the deep part of the field, but still had it covered, yet they were able to come up with a nice play.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run this one in. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. He'll drop to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And his kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Going up top. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call it tippy toes if that one was completed.
Now a handoff as they run left side. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 4.
They'll set up to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Here comes the Rams punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long. I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Let's go.
Now here's the call. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Back to throw again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route, complete. And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's second down. They'll look to throw again. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. I believe that buzz down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
The kick is good.
So that challenge, a successful one. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Rams about to go on offense one final time in this first half. And they'll take over with just 18 ticks remaining. Just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for the Texans. And it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's been effective and they're winning, so it makes it a little easier to put a montage together.
It really does, doesn't it? Because we can see him throwing it really well. But how about everything else that's going on? Protection has been excellent. And, of course, the guys catching the ball have provided some highlight reels themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always just one man. He's been good, but you got the guys catching the ball, too.
Yeah, you name it. It's all coming together for them. What they call that synergy. Everything working together really well. And right now, he's the focal point of it.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down of the sack.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, and this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
Back to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. They'll set up a throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.